on the trip, and just letting her sit here and warm up a little bit. But it's about 8:30 in the morning. A little chilly, not as chilly as it's going to be, but it's a little chilly. It's about 49, 50 degrees, something like that. So we got all our warm stuff ready to go. So we're just gonna head out in a minute. I'll put up on the screen right now the ride for today. Don't expect really to see too much scenery. It's kind of like we're just trying to get to Cherokee, North Carolina. So we'll head up through the Ocoee, and then either hit 64 or 74. I forget which road it is, and that pretty much takes us all the way into Cherokee. So probably not a lot of beautiful scenery, but we'll be spending the night there at Cherokee, which is right at the beginning of the southern end of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and that's when all the beautiful scenery will start. But yeah, we'll probably get on the road here in about 10-15 minutes, and then probably head up to McDonald's for our traditional early morning ride breakfast, for some biscuits, some coffee, and yeah, then we'll be on our way. Let's go. All right, so we've had our traditional biscuit at McDonald's, getting ready to head out on the trip. Got the go, or the instant 360 running. Like I said, I don't think there's going to be too much scenery, maybe through the Ocoee area, but once we get through that, it's pretty much a 4-lane highway for the most part up till we get to Cherokee. But off we go. So here we are, getting ready to head into the Ocoee. Yes, the Ocoee. A little stretch of probably going to be the prettiest by far for this little drive, which is about 12 miles, 12-15 miles. This is the beginning of it here. Let's see. This is what's the name of the lake? It's not Carter's Lake. We took the jet ski up here quite a few times. I can't remember the name of the actual lake itself, but this is the dam here, and yeah, it's a little curvy section going up through here, but you can already tell. I think it's going to be really pretty as we get on the parkway. Colors are already changing here. So one of the things I do want to say, and I think Leanne will agree with me 100%, is that the heated gear investment was absolutely 100% worth the money for, to get. You know, I've got the gloves. Leanne has the heated liners that she wears inside her gloves here. I also have the jacket. And I had mentioned this in my previous video, but this is kind of the really first test of all of the equipment together. Leanne also has heated pants as well, and
jacket.
yes, and we also got these both matching pants. I honestly, now it's not quite as cold as it's going to be tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday, but it was still pretty chilly this morning. It was, I think, 49 degrees this morning when we took off. So I've most of my stuff, I've had my gloves on low, my jacket's been on low, and Leanne, who is normally very cold natured, has even had to turn hers down. So that tells me it's working 105% very well. So we're just taking our typical break here. This is a stretch of road that we typically go down anytime we travel anywhere, because it's kind of the way we get to the Smoky Mountains, the mountain areas in North Carolina, things like that. So this is a very common stretch of land, or a stretch of, I don't know why I keep saying stretch, a stretch of road that we go on quite often. So I'll have the 360 going. Maybe I'll show a little bit of the drive through there. But then pretty much after we get out of the Ocoee area here, it's going to be a pretty boring ride, 4-lane highway for about another 100 miles until we get into Cherokee. Yeah, once we get there, here's a little. I'll show you guys a little bit of a drive through in the Ocoee, and then once we get into Cherokee, we'll show you the room we're staying at, and yeah, off we go. Well, you know how I said that the trip up to Cherokee wasn't going to be very, very eventful. We're now stuck. We were about an hour away from Cherokee, and all of a sudden the bike just died, lost all power. Luckily, we just happened to be in front of this place here, coming down the mountain, and or the little hill here, and was able to pull in. So we're able to get a little jump start kit from someone here, and it was able to start up just fine. But I have a voltmeter on the bike itself that tells me what the voltage was, and as soon as we disconnected the starter kit thing, it just dropped back down and just kept dropping down. So very clearly the alternator was not putting out any kind of charge. So, you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of like bend and flex and do what you need to do. So we have AAA. So we have called AAA to come give us a tow.
We're pretty bendy.
She's much more bendy than I am. But also called a motorcycle shop. Luckily in this area there's quite a few motorcycle shops around. Found one that was open, talked to the guy. He said he actually had an alternator for a GL 1500. So we're going to get it towed down there. Not sure if we're going to make the hotel that we're supposed to stay at tonight up in Cherokee, but we'll be staying somewhere tonight, and hopefully tomorrow morning we'll be able to get back on the road, and it'll just be a little bit extra longer ride tomorrow. But
only by 60 miles, right?
yeah, about 60 miles. So
It's an hour.
yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, great start, but I'm sure it can only get better. It can only get better. So we'll see. Well, we have finally made it to our amazing room for the night. We had us some
Adventures.
adventures today.
That's one word for it.
So yeah, I think the last thing I said was that we had to figure out what we were going to do. So we ended up having to call AAA, right? AAA.
Yes.
Yeah, called AAA, and they were really good. They had a truck come out, load up the Gold Wing on the back of the truck, and drove about 25 miles back the way we came to a motorcycle shop that we happened to find out that was open on Sunday, and went down there, and luckily the guy, I'll have to make sure I put a link to their store page in the video, because man, this guy helped us out tremendously. Took his time, you know, probably had other things going on, but he was really nice. He said he probably had an alternator that would fit, and sure enough, he had a new alternator on the bike, and we were up and running within an hour, basically, and back on the road. So drove it the rest of the way up here, and made it up here. So it's going to be an interesting journey this week, because the weather seems to be changing just a little bit from the last time we looked at it. They're calling for snow in certain parts of where we're going to be riding, so it's definitely going to be interesting, but we're pretty tired. We're going to hit the sack, and we'll see you all tomorrow morning.